Welcome all you group therapy chanters. It's time for another episode of the Cozy Quilt Cinema. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Beth. Every week, Michelle and I curl up on the couch, watch a movie, and then we take it to the studio to do a full-on Mona Lisa veto stomp. It's not a critical review, though we absolutely will be critical. How does it hold up? How have we held up? Are we still out there driving limousines into houses and calling it a personality? So grab that blanket your booby hand-stitched you, yes, the one you're not supposed to take off the bed, because we're doing a rewatch. Cancel the kitchen scraps for lepers and orphans, postpone the merciful beheadings, and call off Christmas.
Oh, you have issues.
It's true. Not wrong.
Before we get into it, this week's movie touches on addiction and recovery. And we just want to take a second to acknowledge that for some of you, this might hit a little close to home. We're going to keep it real, we're going to keep it warm, and handle with care. As always, our blanket fort is a safe place.
So it's been a week for us.
It's been a week. Not only personally, existentially, politically, worldly, it's just been a shitty week. I mean, okay, I can't say that. My week's actually been pretty good, just been very busy.
I've had a lot of time off.
Yes.
Dealing with personal issues or cats.
Yes. Our baby girl.
Our baby girl.
Had her uterine area removed.
It's the longest way to say she got spayed.
She got spayed.
But she is our precious little bundle, so I had to stay home.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to, but I chose to.
It's just different than when we had our boys neutered because, again, it doesn't lessen the infection. It's just more invasive of a process to be spayed.
A little scarier for me. But yeah, so that, and we have the political situation, which is just exponential daily. Every day seems to be some new horror that they're throwing at everyone, including and mostly at trans people.
Yes.
So I'm just trying to make it through.
I mean, when you have a government that not only is trying to destroy its own country, but also incite World War III. Yeah.
By destroying another country.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yeah, well, there's that.
So on that note,
I got to play with little kids. I mean, I always play with little kids, but I got to play with different little kids this week. So there's that.
True.
Okay, so to our movie, 28 Days, not 28 Days Later, as a lot of searches kept coming up with. So here's our IMDb for this movie. New York-based writer Gwen Cummings knows that she drinks a lot, but doesn't believe it's a problem. And if she decides that it is an issue, that she could stop drinking on her own. She and her live-in boyfriend, Jasper, fuel each other's hyperactivity with this excessive alcohol consumption. Quote-unquote, a normal life is not in either's vocabulary. Between Gwen and her older, straight-laced sister, Lily, Gwen more closely resembles their larger-than-life mother, who was also an alcoholic and who died because of that when they were children. Lily believes that Gwen's addictions make her a difficult, if not impossible, person to love. While Gwen is in a drunken stupor at Lily's wedding, Gwen causes one issue after another, ruining the day for Lily. Gwen is forced to examine her drinking with a culmination of bad events she caused at the wedding, leading to her being court-ordered to enter into rehab or jail for 28 days, which is only marginally more tolerable an idea to her than the alternative, which is jail. We didn't write this. For Gwen to make any progress, she has to acknowledge that she has a problem, which requires the support during those 28 days, not only of the facility's staff, but also the other patients, each who is going through his or her own issues with respect to the demons of addiction. If she does eventually acknowledge the problem, She will also have to reconcile the events of her life with Lily and come to the realization that a life with Jasper is not in her best interest if she has any chance of surviving outside of the facility after those 28 days. And this was written by Hugo or Huggo.
It's Hugo, I believe. And we have had him before as a writer for the IMDb summary.
Mm-hmm.
Usually they're more concise. I mean, this is very concise, just very
concise,
long.
but very long, yes.
So it's basically not a summary. It's like a reenactment.
Oh my gosh. I mean, short of like scene by scene blows, yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely enlarged the beginning of the movie.
So how do you feel about 28 Days? And this is from the year 2000, by the way.
Yes. How did I feel, or how
did you feel back then when you saw it first?
I remember wanting to see it because it was a Sandra Bullock movie, and I love Sandra Bullock. I didn't really know who Viggo Mortensen was at the time. I just know that and even Alan Tudyk was like, I knew his face, but I didn't know his name.
Sure.
And I definitely wanted to see the movie. I thought it was going to be a bit lighter because it does get a bit dark at moments. But my ex-husband was a heroin addict. And I think this movie made me really think about how I don't like to watch movies about addiction. Not against anybody who suffers from addiction and who has to deal with it and is constantly fighting their addictions. It just brings up a lot of icky, ew thoughts that I just don't know if... it's not that I don't want to deal with them. I think I have dealt with them. I just don't like to revisit them.
I understand that.
While there is some really funny moments and there are some really good moments, and this movie is still good, it really kind of, at the time, made me just realize, yeah. And again, his favorite movie was Natural Born Killers, so we watched that a lot. And not to say that these movies had anything to do with each other, but it was that whole addiction and even the codependency in Natural Born Killers kind of
right
is an addiction of itself. And his need to watch this movie a lot was an addiction, as part of his addiction. So, yeah, as much as I loved it, but there was one thing that I did like about this movie that stuck out to me, and I was reminded of it during this watch. I like that she didn't get the guy in the end. Like, I liked that it was her. She did this, and she's going to take care of herself.
Right.
And it just made me love Sandra Bullock even more because it was such a female empowering. Like, I looked at that and said, I can come through the other side of this. I'm not the one with the issue, but I'm the one who's picking up the pieces, calling the ambulance, dealing with the children. And there is a light because she was in the middle of it and she was dealing with it. I'm on the outside of it, and I can get through this too. So yeah, that was my long, overly drawn out feelings.
Okay.
How did you feel when you first saw it?
Well, I don't have an addiction issue. However, we all have someone. And mine was my mother.
Mm-hmm.
In many ways reflecting the situations that happen in this movie. Maybe not to the biggest extent because my mother, unfortunately, I know a lot of people think this is a bonus, but being high functioning is actually worse. And we'll go into that.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt this movie. When I first watched it, I watched it for the same reason you did. I watched it because it had Sandra Bullock in it. And I was like, oh, well, this will be neat.
Yeah.
Neat really didn't hit until much later in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I did not expect to go into a Sandra Bullock movie experiencing every freaking emotion I could think of.
Yeah.
And so how it made me feel like I was 8.
Mm.
which is difficult. It's a difficult time, and I love this movie so much, but there are parts that are very difficult to get through, like this. So I had big feelings.
Mm-hmm.
I still have big feelings, apparently.
It's okay to have big feelings.
Yeah, it just doesn't make for good podcasting.
No, I mean, I think it does. I think
Stop crying on the microphone. You're gonna get it wet.
I think it does make for good. I mean, we are a feelings podcast. You're gonna have big feelings. I mean, because I'm an
Yeah,
ice cold bitch who doesn't have any emotions most of the time. You know.
I'm not trying to pick the scab for entertainment.
No, and I know that.
It is one of my favorite films, and I was really happy to do this. I'm the one that chose to do this film because I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So we already know how we felt when we first watched it. Let's talk about the actors and the director.
Okay. So, the director was Betty Thomas,
Damn straight it was.
and Betty has had a history. That
She's
woman.
got a lot of stuff. She did the Brady Bunch movie,
Yes.
Private Parts, two wild ends of the
Yes.
spectrum, and John Tucker Must Die.
Yes. She was in Troop Beverly Hills because she was an actress before she became a director.
True enough.
She directed Grace and Frankie, one of our favorites.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That is
Yeah.
one of my favorites.
We have, so I'm going to actually skip our actors for a hot minute. This was written by Susanna Grant. Now, the only reason why I'm mentioning Susanna Grant is because she has also written Erin Brockovich and Ever After, two movies we have already gone over in past episodes.
Right.
So I just thought it was really great that this is a very female-forward movie. It's directed by a woman, written by a woman, starring a woman. It's a very female-forward movie. So this to me is,
It is.
you know,
very
it's,
much so.
she's got the hopes of being a good Castellini passing. We will see. So I did this on purpose, but I kind of picked the stupid things that people were in. Not all of them. Some of them are actually good, but I kind of went with like obscure. So we have Sandra Bullock, who plays Gwen Cummings.
Okay. And she is in Speed.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite films is Miss Congeniality.
I had that on here, but I crossed it off when I went weird.
Gravity.
Mm-hmm.
And another one that I really enjoy, which is The Proposal.
Yes, I like The Proposal. She was in a very short-lived TV series playing Tess McGill in Working Girl, the TV series.
I did not know that.
I know.
That is so weird.
Yup. And then we have Viggo Mortensen.
He's playing Eddie Boone.
Yep.
He is in Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yes, he was.
If you don't know that, I don't know how to help you. Eastern Promises.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in several things.
I have
a lot of things.
Now, the first time, okay, I saw him in Lord of the Rings first. That's when I realized, oh my God, he's God. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
God. But before all of that, he was in G.I. Jane. You wouldn't recognize him. His head
I never
shaved.
saw the film.
He looks not very handsome. It took like all of his because he's got very exaggerated features. He has a
He
very
does.
prominent nose. It's almost like an equine nose. He's got a very pointed face. And when you shave off that hair and you kind of like, and he had that hair, I think he had like a little mustache too. Not Hitler, but like little. And he's kind of, got the dirty blonde hair as his natural color. So I did not find him attractive at all in G.I. Jane. Actually, he was like a dick and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Dominic West, who plays Jasper.
He is in The Wire, The Affair, and The Crown. There's a lot of those.
A lot of British actors in
yeah.
here. He was in the TV series Les Mis, and he played a oh my God, I forgot to write his name. The main character, Jean Valjean, blah blah blah. I'm not a big Les Mis.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I know.
he's very pretty in all of them.
Oh yes, yes, yes. I like the music from Les Mis, but like I can't remember 90% of the characters. He was also in a show called Colette, or a movie called Colette, which I think is funny.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because
yeah.
Colette is a character in Les Mis.
Yeah.
I like to find weird little points
Sure.
like that. Yeah. Okay, so we have Elizabeth Perkins, who plays Lily, who is Gwen's sister.
Right, Lily Cummings. Well, not Cummings because
No,
she got married.
They don't really give her a last name.
It's Lily. I'm gonna say it's Daniel
Okay,
or
Lily
Lily
of the Valley.
McCruden of the Clan McCruden.
Okay, sure.
I don't know. So she was in Big.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Weeds
Mm-hmm.
and Sharp Objects. She's been in a lot of things too.
She also played Wilma Flintstone in the Flintstones with John Goodman and Rick Moranis.
Never saw it.
You didn't miss anything.
No, I didn't.
I mean,
because I haven't.
John Goodman and Rick Moranis as Fred and Barney was actually funny, but other than that, it was really not a good movie.
Yeah.
I believe what's her face? Rosie O'Donnell was Betty.
I seem to remember knowing that much.
Yes. We have Steve Buscemi, my love, one of my many loves. He plays Cornell.
Cornell Shaw.
And what's funny is because one of the other characters is wearing a Cornell sweatshirt, and I'm going, wait a minute, that's not Cornell.
Ever heard of it?
Never heard of it? I went there.
He was in Fargo,
Mm-hmm.
Reservoir Dogs,
Yes, he was.
Boardwalk Empire.
Mm-hmm.
He's also played God in a TV series.
I love that show. Oh my God, what the fuck is it called? Because he's got Dan Radcliffe in it.
Right.
Oh my God, that is.
I don't remember the name of it. I just know that he was really good. I saw season 1. It was really good.
I actually have seen everything but the last two. I think last season, what is it? It was a Urban Decay /
Like
apocalyptic.
post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I think the last one I saw was the Old West, and oh my God, Dan Radcliffe, you kill me, and I love you so much.
Sir not appearing in this film.
Yes. Okay. But he was also the voice of Randall in Monsters, Inc.
True.
Because I wanted to go with obscure things. I mean, I was going to say Fargo because I did love Fargo, but I wanted to do Randall. Alan Tudyk, who plays Gerard.
Gerhard.
Oh, sorry. Gerhard. Oh my God, I
Gerhard.
can't say his name. Played Gerhard.
He was Wash in Firefly.
Of course he was.
I love him dearly.
know.
I love the actor. I love the character. He was in Dodgeball.
Mm-hmm.
He was also in Rogue One.
Yes, he was.
He was the voice.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, okay.
Of the robot, yes.
Right.
Of the droid. It was a droid.
I don't know how they... Anytime they need a comedic robot, they should go to Alan Tudyk.
Yes. Well, he was in the show that we liked.
Sure.
Alien, Resident Alien.
Resident Alien.
Love
Fantastic
Resident
show.
Alien. But
Funny. It has a lot of character to the show itself, and they have the first people, a lot of First Nation people in it. And I really love that is kind of where they went with this.
oh, definitely. It's such a good show. Really underappreciated, I feel. I mean, it's slapsticky at moments, and
Sure
it is a
is.
sci-fi,
But it's great.
so good. But a lot of people know this fact, but a lot of people don't know this fact. So I'm going to enlighten those of you who do not know. He was the voice of Hey Hey in Moana.
That's true.
All he did was crow and scream like a rooster.
Yep.
Hey Hey, my spirit animal. That's horrible. I shouldn't say spirit animal.
No.
Mike O'Malley played Oliver.
Yeah, he was in Abbott Elementary.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Suits L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Snowpiercer. Thought though in a weird ass movie out of nowhere.
Yeah. And
His TV series. I don't know why I said movie. TV series.
Okay. He played Kurt's dad, Bert, in Glee.
Sure. He also did a couple of episodes of Get Shorty, the TV series.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I have like 5 more people, but they're not the main characters, but I just thought it was interesting in the things that they were in. So we have Marianne Jean-Baptiste, who played Rashonda, who was in Broadchurch with my other love, David Tennant.
Oh, yeah.
And she did a lot of, she's British, and she does a lot of TV shows like that.
Well, she did the podcast series Pride and Prejudice.
And she was Mrs. Bennet.
Yeah.
Azure Sky, which is basically, I think her name is Blue Sky.
Azure Sky.
Azure Sky.
Yes.
Okay, but still pretty. She plays Andrea, and
Delaney.
And she was in Buffy.
Damn straight she was. Good call.
And
she was also in Riverdale.
Yes, she was.
One Missed Call. Duncan. She's been in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And I love her character. I love her as a person, as a character.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she has character herself.
Oh, yeah. And she's so cute. She's adorable.
Oh, she's just so human.
Yes.
She's like one of the most human people. If you're like, oh, that's a human right there. That's a great example of a human.
Mm-hmm. So we have Rennie Santoni, who played Daniel. And he was in Private Parts.
He was in someone's private parts.
But he was in Private Parts, which if you don't know Private Parts, it is the Howard Stern movie.
Yeah, exactly. He was in Cobra, by the way. 1986. Gotta love that. And he was in Dirty Harry.
Wow.
I mean, he's old school.
He's old school. He really is.
But he also did Dr. Dolittle, so...
I mean, yeah.
Everybody's got to do one.
I have Margot Martindale, who plays Betty. Basically, she is the Nurse Ratched of the film, but without being ratchety.
Oh, yeah. She did. She was in Fargo, too, right?
I don't remember that, but she was in an episode of Poker Face. She played Dr. Ham.
Yeah, let me look at that. I think she was in Fargo as well. I could be wrong on that. She was in New Girl. She's Nick's mom.
Oh,
I completely forgot about that.
Oh, my God. We only just saw that episode the other day.
We just saw the episode.
Oh
she was in Justified.
Yes, she was.
She plays a gangster, basically, a southern gangster, which you gotta love. She does a great job. Scares the hell out of me.
Oh, yeah. No, she could be I wouldn't mess with her in a dark alley.
No, not at all. She was in Hannah Montana, the movie.
That's about right.
She swings wildly.
Oh, my God.
Whatever,
no, she does.
But she can do that. She has the ability to do that.
Oh, yeah. When they're looking for somebody with her, I mean, she can definitely be like typecast, but in a different way, where she's getting different types of roles, but they kind of call for a specific type of person, and she can do that. And last but not least,
she was also, I want to just mention this, she was in Practical Magic.
She was in Practical Magic.
Yes.
She was one of the witch.
She was Linda.
Yeah, she was not the witch, but she was one of the town people. Yeah. But
one of the women that became part of the coven.
Yeah. But last but not least, only because it is one of the stupidest parts of the movie in a good way, is the ongoing soap opera.
Oh, yes.
And Diane Ladd plays Bobby Jean in the soap opera. So, yeah, she has been in a million and one things, but she is really known as Mama Grimwald in Christmas Vacation. She's Chevy Chase's mom in that movie.
True. She's also in Grace Under Fire.
Oh, yeah.
She did a couple episodes of that, which I really loved that show back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a show kind of about addiction.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And she was in Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Yep.
She's done a lot.
She has a lot of history, to look at.
So we have a large cast of characters, but I do want to mention someone. He is an actor, okay? But he's also a musician. So Ludden Wainwright the third is a singer-songwriter, but he's also in the movie.
Yes.
The guy with the guitar, that is him.
Yes.
He's singing his song, and he's got several songs in the movie that he sings. And so in this movie, I love the movie itself, but within the movie is a song called Dreaming. It is heart-wrenching. It speaks to me in a very visceral way. And if you get the chance, I will provide a link in our show notes to listen to that song in its entirety. And I don't know if you will get anything out of it, but it speaks to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the song. And I know it sounds like, melancholy, but the message in it is greater than the sound that that it has. And I think it's well worth, I don't know, listening to. It gives you a vibe, not even for the movie itself, but just for the situation that a lot of people find themselves in. Particularly in this story with Andrea,
Yes.
who, has a very tragic story in this. So I think it's worth listening to just for that, just for her.
Yep. Again, it is, there's just a lot.
There are a lot of things to talk about. So, I mean, we start out with Sandra Bullock, who is Gwen.
Yeah, and the thing about Sandra Bullock in the beginning of this movie, that I think another reason why this movie kind of messes with me, is I actually forgot about the whole beginning of this movie.
Yeah.
With the way she is. And my sister she's got a lot of issues, and I'm not going to air her dirty laundry on the podcast, but any more than I probably have in the past.
It would never get dry.
It would never get dry. But there was a lot of that personality, that I am fun when I am fun, and addiction. And that type of personality, it can be very magnetic. People want to be around that, but it can be also very tiring and exhausting. And you see her character when she's in rehab, and how she's irritable and she's angry, and nobody likes her in the beginning. And that is her sobriety kicking in. And that was my sister's behavior as well. And you throw in mental health and other things, and you didn't want to be around her when she was like that, but you wanted to be in the middle of her party and her life when she was on a high, and a literal and or figurative, mental high.
Right.
And so I watched this movie, and it just brings back memories of seeing her destroying herself and being swept away with it, being a part of it, and not giving her the drugs or giving her the alcohol, but wanting to be there when she's funny and when she's playful and having a good time, because you're going to have good moments, you're going to have fun, and then it's all going to be swept away.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of not everyone is the same,
No.
but a lot of the MO for those who are addicted and who are imbibing, who are drunk, who are getting high, is they feel better for a short time.
Mm-hmm.
That is, they're self-medicating. And, my best friend, he had addictions.
Mm-hmm.
And it took him a long time to kick them.
Yes.
And you never cure yourself.
No, you're always...
You can only ever keep daily and hourly and minute-wise keep from doing them. That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I watched him. He was always the life of the party. I think that tends to be a fairly common aspect, is they're the life of the party, because they are. They feel great about themselves for that short amount of time.
Yep.
You don't see the other parts.
No.
You only see the parts where they're having fun.
Yeah.
Because they're always on. They don't let you see that part.
Unless you're really unless you know them well enough to see behind the curtain.
Right. Well, you have to be behind the curtain to see it. So
yeah. And I was behind the curtain
Sure.
with my sister, and you were behind the curtain with our friend.
Yeah.
That's really, and this is going to sound controversial, and people are probably going to be annoyed by this, but there is multiple types of addiction. And I will say with honesty that I think that you and I have a form of addiction that my ex would always say, no, there's no such thing as. But I feel like people like us who struggle with our weight, we have a food addiction. We have to eat to survive. It's our problem is controlling our ability to say no to certain foods. Even if we don't buy those foods, we will make up for it by overeating in some other direction. I'm not making an excuse. I'm just wanting to recognize the people out there who struggle just like us. And while we don't have a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction, we have the addiction in our background. We have addiction in our families. My father was an alcoholic. Fortunately, I did not see a lot of that because he was not part of my life. I just saw it in bits.
Primarily because of the addiction.
Because of his addiction. And I only saw the high moments of my dad. And in the few low moments I saw of my dad, I didn't want to be around him. And I just want people out there who do not have a substance abuse addiction who suffer with weight problems to know that we understand, and we also believe that it is a form of addiction. You have to eat to live. But my ex would argue.
Which makes it very hard to get off of it.
Very. Well, that was like my biggest argument with my ex was when I pointed that out to him, he's like, well, you don't have, that's not an addiction. I'm like, well, the difference being that you have to go make sure you have the money, go out, either buy the alcohol or the drugs, and you have to work for your addiction, but I have to eat to live. So there's always going to be food around me at all times. I can't not eat.
It is very much like being an alcoholic and working. It's like Cheers. It's like working in a bar while you're an alcoholic.
Yeah.
It's there all the time, and it's readily available. No one's stopping you from eating.
No. It's the control. We have a willpower that is very weak. It's like putting out a buffet or always keeping drugs in your cabinet that are illegal drugs, and you're an addict. Can't touch those. Don't eat those. Don't do those drugs.
Well, I mean, that is one of the things about addiction. And I am by no means an expert. I've only ever had either the effects around me or my own, like, it's not an eating disorder, but I definitely have problems with using food to supplant emotions.
How many times do we call each other up at the end of the day as we're going home from work going, comfort food tonight, comfort food tonight?
Sure.
You want ice cream? Yes, I want ice cream. Well, I'll never say no to ice cream.
Right. But addiction isn't something that you have willpower over. You're going to fall. And it's not about falling. And that's something about this movie that I really like. It's not that you fall. It's that you get back up. And you just have to keep getting back up. You're going to fall. There's going to be that day you take a drink. There's going to be that day you do the drug. There's going to be the day you overeat. But you have to get back up.
Oh, yeah.
Every single time your addiction doesn't allow you not to, or you just get caught back up again and you get swept down that river that you just swam up. And I know I'm mixing metaphors.
That's okay.
But
I think what I appreciate about this movie.
I think I'm having trouble.
I know you are. It's okay that I'm here to pick it up, baby. I like how in the cluster, the main group of people, there are different endings. And while not all of them are good endings, I mean, this is a 26-year-old movie, so spoilers.
Yeah.
You have the extremes, but the varying levels in between. You have the Sandra Bullock who gets out, struggles a bit, but ends up putting her foot down with the boyfriend who's / fiance who is only really there to most likely drag her right back down into that pit when she's gotten herself out of it. She's not above water, but she is at water level, and she is going to try to pull herself out of it completely. And he would very easily grab her ankle and drag her back down.
I mean, that's true.
So
I mean, they're codependent.
They are codependent, and she realizes this, but she's kind of like the hopeful, happy ending. Now we have Gerhardt, right?
Yeah.
I said it right. I said it right. And he's doing good, but he's also struggling. He forgot to water his plant, and it makes him very emotional. And that's him struggling. He's trying so hard to fix his life and to keep this plant alive because the therapist, Steve Buscemi, said, before you get into a relationship, try to, keep a plant alive.
Right.
And
so he had a plant and a dog.
And a dog. But he's so emotional when she sees him, but he's so glad to see her and have a friend. Again, he's struggling, I think, a little bit more than she is, but he's getting there. We have the woman who's trying, her children miss their mom because the fun times were fun, but the addiction took her away.
Right.
And I relate to that one because my kids had to deal with that. And, we were always put on the shelf when when he didn't want to deal with us. And he was in his, head and in his addiction. But then we have the doctor, Daniel, who he screwed himself up. He gave himself a tracheotomy. It's a long, he was basically pumping his own stomach. But he got put right back into rehab, and he comes back with a big black eye. So he fell off the wagon very quickly. And then we have Andrea, who couldn't handle it. She couldn't handle being on the outside. She knew she was safe in rehab, and the idea of leaving rehab overwhelmed her because this wasn't her first time. At 17 years old, she was a heroin addict who was struggling so hard. She would cut herself. And then I saw my child in that because my child did that.
Yeah.
And then she takes her own life. So she
overdoses.
Yes. And this is that extreme.
I don't know that she intended to take her own life. I honestly think that what she was trying to do was get high so that she would be stuck in there longer.
Probably. And what I know of heroin addiction, and because this happened twice with my ex, is they pick up where they left off. When you've been clean from heroin for a period of time, your tolerance towards heroin. So when you're on heroin, you have to keep taking more and more to reach that same level of of high. And then you get clean. And now your body can't handle that level where you were. You have to start back at the low level. And both times my ex would go back to his last dose level.
True.
And overdosed 2 times because of that.
And that plays out exactly that way for Andrea. Or Andrea?
Yeah, I think it's Andrea. I think I said Andrea by accident. Mm-hmm.
It's easy.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we're talking about the people. Let me talk about the music in the movie.
Okay.
Because it plays a part in all of this. The cinematography and the music, they mix in order to give you the effects of feeling a little bit high.
Oh, yeah.
You feel a little bit queasy, a little sick. And I still have trouble listening to Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog because it makes me ill thinking about it.
Oh.
And, the movie plays these discordant effects. It's the lens of the inebriated or the drunk.
Yeah.
It is called alcohol myopia.
It
actually has a name. And I think they play it to good effect. They use filters. They use the frame rate changes, which also has a name called snorification or snorication or snoricam. Snoricam. That's what it was. I'm trying to remember. And it's those POV shots, or point of view shots, where it's low frame rates.
Yes.
And those moments that are stuck throughout the movie or Sandra or Gwen remembering.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I'm very handsy. I'm tapping the pop filter and everything.
That's my job.
I know. I'm very worked up today. I'm very emotional. This movie brings it out. And I'm not saying it's like the deepest movie ever. But to me, it is, this movie is very much to me like a very deep well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as impressive as an ocean, but when you go down it, it gets just as quiet. And you feel the weight upon you, and you feel the cold, and you feel the silence. And I think that this movie is a lot like The Well.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be the ocean, but I think it is very much The Well. So it is deep, it's just narrow. It's aiming at one thing. And
You can get better. It can get better. I feel like that's something that the movie does. When Gwen starts to clear up and clean up, you start to realize that, and she does not want to die. She does not want to go to jail. She doesn't want to become what she was again. And she's starting to feel better about herself. And the people around her become a family of sorts.
let's talk about the spark moment.
Mm-hmm.
What caused her to have that outlook? Because when she got there, she was very competitive. The reason why she went there is because she was very drunk
And
with
pills.
Jasper and doing pills, the Vicodin,
Mm-hmm.
or Vicodin, as
Vicodin,
some would
as,
call it.
as Betty said.
But they were at the wedding,
Her
and
sister's
she was a
wedding.
bridesmaid, and she, of course, fucked it all up. I equated, you remember in Community where they went to the wedding and they
Oh
thought
my
they were being so
God.
cool and so smooth,
And all they did was screw up the wedding.
but from their perspective,
They were awesome.
they thought they were doing great. They were very debonair and very like, you're lucky to have us as guests because we're the best guests.
Yes.
Well, turns out if you move beyond that myopic lens,
Mm-hmm.
you see they are the worst guests.
They were.
And they had to be talked to by by the mother of the bride.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing here to a greater degree because we're talking about abuse issues, abuse
Yes.
of not just like drugs and alcohol, but
Mm-hmm.
abuse of your family. She's abusing her family by doing this, punishing her sister.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think she realizes she's doing it.
Most people who are, I'm not saying all addicts. I'm talking, when we talk about this, when we say most people, we're really just talking about our own experiences. And through my experiences, the people that I have in my family or married, their addiction caused them to be very selfish and very focused on only their needs. So there is a myopicness. They don't always realize that they're hurting the people around them because in their mind, they're only hurting themselves.
Yeah.
And they know they're hurting themselves.
True, but she's there dancing with Jasper.
Oh yeah, she's already 45 minutes late.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
And they're dancing very bigly on the
Very
floor.
bigly.
And she falls back into the wedding cake, destroying it.
Which was one of my clues last week. Apparently, when they went through a few cakes, and one of the cakes that they had gotten for that scene had dowels in it because that's what you put in a wedding cake to keep it upright.
Right.
And one of the stunt ladies almost got impaled.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the bakers didn't know.
No, they didn't know that they were going to be crushed in a movie. Oh, it's a big.
They're like, it's for a movie. They didn't think it's going to be part of the stunt.
Yeah.
So she falls into the cake and she destroys it. But in her inebriated state, she's like, don't worry, I'll take care of this. And you're like, what do you mean take care of this? And she walks off, taking her dress off on the way because it had cake on it. So she's just walking in her slip and she gets into the limousine and drives off with it.
Yep.
So she steals a limousine. She's driving off. She's on the phone. I was recording like how many laws she was breaking.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. And she was talking on the phone trying to find a cake store
Yes, because she can find a wedding cake at the last minute.
Yeah, she needed a cake store, and she's weaving all over the road, and she ends up running into someone's front porch.
Running over their lawn jockey, which, good, because
Yeah,
racists.
yeah. But she runs right into their house, and, you know, she's doesn't know what she's done wrong. She tries to stand there like, and in a very, I don't know, she must have done some really good prep work because my mother was a full-time drunk person. Um, she had a blood level in her alcohol, and it was usually fairly low.
Oh, it's kind of like how I always say there's too much blood in my caffeine system.
Right. But she had many wrecks throughout her life, and every one of them, it was someone else's problem. It was someone else's issue. But being high functioning, she got away with it. And it was an earlier time before they had all the testing.
Yes. And Gwen is standing there, and you saw her as, you know, looking at it like, what? Nothing happened. And I see her looking at it like, who the hell did all this? Like, you know, she has her hands on her hips.
She was just trying to play it off like she's not drunk.
Yeah,
you know?
she's wobbling, and she's got her hands on her hips, dressed in a slip in tap pants, and she's got, you know, she's like, what? Wow, who the hell did this? I don't know how that happened.
But that's leading up to the fact that why she's in rehab in the first place. Now, when she's in rehab, she doesn't like being there. I think everyone starts out that way, so everyone's expecting that. But she has these pills that Jasper got her because codependency.
Yep.
So he brought it to her during a visitation.
Yep.
And she's been keeping it for just those times where she needs it. Well, she ended up climbing out of the window, and she was getting the pills.
Mm-hmm.
Because I guess she threw them out the window, then she wanted them.
Yeah, she threw them out of the window because she was going to try to be better because she was...
Right.
Yeah.
She's still stubborn, though, so she still wants to do the drugs, so she's going to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
But she's up on like 3 floors up.
Well, because, you know, when your body's cleaning out of any drug, the withdrawal symptoms, I can speak, are painful. And that was probably, she was starting to get that feeling. And she's like, okay, well, now I have to go get those pills. And you'll do a lot for those pills.
Yeah, and one of those things is going out of the window and trying to climb down a tree, and then she falls 3 stories and hurts herself.
Mm-hmm.
And while she's laying there on the ground and in pain, she sees those pills. And at that moment, Steve Buscemi is, as Cornell, is speaking. And he's speaking about addiction and how you have to be able to keep reminding yourself that you can do this and that you have to, that addiction is a real thing, that addiction is going to hurt, that addiction is going to cause pain.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to do the work. And she's laying there looking at those pills, and that's her spark moment. And I think that is where she literally hit the ground.
Yeah.
She hit bottom right there. And that was the ground. And that is where she changes.
Mm-hmm.
That is the moment where she decided she wanted to live.
Yes.
And until then, she has not been living. She's been having a great time because when you're doing these things, you're not thinking about living. You're just thinking about existing. You're not thinking at all.
No.
You're just existing. Now she's wanting to live. And I think that that is a really poignant moment in the film.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a big fall, but no one notices. No one notices she fell.
No, there was no, you know, fanfare or hoopla, or it was her in by herself on the ground in the dark, just realizing that that's not the life she wants anymore, and she wants to be better.
Yeah, and the fact that Eddie came in, he picked her up and carried her inside, but he was out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he didn't.
He didn't even remember it happening the next day.
No.
So it's not like he was saving her.
No.
He just happened upon her, picked her up, and brought her in. And she's going to get kicked out. Well,
Mm-hmm.
she's going to get kicked out because when she got the pills, she got really drunk because Jasper took her to a bar
Mm-hmm.
to get drunk.
Yep. Because Jasper is a dick.
Right. And she came back inebriated. And, well, first of all, she's not supposed to leave. And second of all, she's not supposed to be drunk.
Exactly.
So Steve Buscemi, as Cornell, is, I keep saying Steve Buscemi,
Because
but I
he's
know his
Steve
character
Buscemi.
name. I know. I think he could have just played himself.
I mean, literally. I love him. Like, and I gotta think of the name of that stupid show. The one where he's God.
Yeah. So when he says you're going to go to jail because you didn't follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the next day after she fell, she comes back and she's sitting there on the floor and she's talking to him. And it's the first time she's not saying how she is the victim.
Mm-hmm.
She's not saying that it's wrong. She's not saying that she doesn't deserve to be there. She's saying she wants to live.
Mm-hmm.
She's saying that she needs help.
And she knows that if she goes to jail,
She'll die.
she'll die.
And that is a huge thing. It's one of her issues is never asking for help.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of asking for help, she's always self-medicated.
Yes. And we all need help. Everybody needs help. And asking for help is not a sign of weakness. And that's something weirdly enough, we teach children to ask for help. And then all of a sudden, it's like a trigger happens in our brains, and we all of a sudden stop asking for help.
So what was the name of that series?
The series where Steve Buscemi plays God is called Miracle Workers. So if you really want to laugh your ass off, it really is funny. It's good. He was such a spoiled brat when he's God.
So I think the thing about this movie is it really highlights that I'm trying to think of how to word it, that Gwen she hasn't made it this far. And you see from shots of her mother, like it does these montages of her mother, and how she is very much like Gwen, or Gwen is very much like her, is that they didn't survive because of their ability. They were just surviving by chance. And it's a false notion that you survive because of your ability.
Mm-hmm.
Gen X didn't survive because we're tougher than everyone else.
No.
We survived lawn darts and a lack of seatbelts
By sheer dumb luck.
because we are the ones that survived. A lot of people didn't. A lot of children died. A lot of people died
Darwinism.
before us. No, they
I
died
know.
because there weren't protections there.
I know. I'm just trying to bring some levity. Sorry. My bad.
So it's one of those things of you don't survive because of your ability. It is sheer chance that you're alive.
Mm-hmm.
And to think that it's otherwise is hubris. So when you're saying, I understand what they're doing when they say that you have to look at a higher power. And a lot of rehabs, they use God, which one, but they use a God of some kind. But honestly, it's just, you have to give up the notion that you're smarter than everyone else and that you have a greater ability to survive than everyone else, because you don't. You're obviously not doing well. You're in fucking rehab. All right? You're lucky to be there. Hopefully you're lucky to be there, because hopefully that rehab is like this place. It's actually trying to help you.
Yes.
So I think that's what I get out of it, is that the movie is ultimately you have no say in how things turn out. Andrea had no say and how things were going to turn out. We are flawed people, we're human beings, and it doesn't matter how cute you are, how sweet you are, how thoughtful you are. It doesn't matter that you can play an instrument beautifully. It doesn't matter that you're a really good surgeon. None of that matters. Because ultimately, your addiction is what defines you.
People
Because
don't see those other things.
that's what happens. If you're addicted to something, it becomes your fight. And that is now what you are. It doesn't have to be that way, but that's the way it is until you seek to change it.
Mm-hmm.
You're always going to have that addiction, but you're always going to have, your stray thoughts, or you're always going to have your ability to do numbers. You're always going to have those things. Those are part of you. But learning how to deal with them, how to manage those things is what's important. That's what could define you. And I think that's what Gwen is figuring out, is she doesn't just need help. She needs to be able to vocalize, needs to be able to say the words.
Yes.
And a lot of people can't.
And I was saying earlier that we tell little kids, because that's what I do all day long. Tell me if you need help and I can help you, because that's what we're here for, is to help you. And somewhere along the line of us growing up and our independence, we stopped wanting to ask for help. And it's frustrating because we all need help. We all need to rely on the people around us. If I didn't have the help of others, I would be nowhere. If I didn't have my friend who, lived in Texas, I would have been stuck in New Jersey, living underneath the thumb of my in-laws who hated me. If I didn't have, people who were willing to give up a seat on a train when I was 19, it just would have been a worse experience. It would have been, there's so many things in my life that I look at that, hell, if I didn't have you taking me to my damn appointments, I would have been, having to find a bus to take or something like that. It would have been so much harder in my life if I didn't ask for help. It's important, and it doesn't show weakness, because what it made me do is to be grateful for the people who were able to give me the help, but also make me want to help others who are in the situations that I was in and who ask me for help. And if I have the ability, I am willing to help them. I feel like by being weak, by quote unquote weakness, by showing that, it made me a better person.
I don't know that I understand what you're saying. I don't think it's weakness. I think it's just showing humanity.
Well, I think too many people see it as weakness.
Sure. I'm sure a lot of people would term it as weakness, but I think a lot of people internalize their own stuff and they become embittered to the world. If you can't talk about your feelings, you push that off onto everyone else as weakness.
Exactly.
And hell, we still do it in our daily lives.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And we talk about our feelings at a semi-professional level. But I think that you're right in a lot of ways, but it's by chance. I wasn't your white knight. I just happened to be there. It's by chance that I was there at the time I was.
Yeah, but if you weren't, or if you didn't want to help, again, it's that looking at the people around you. If you don't ask, you don't know.
Sure.
If I didn't ask you because I was too prideful, or if I didn't want to because I didn't want to seem needy, I didn't know any better, because again, I needed help,
Yeah.
But that has come across in multiple times in my life where I have needed help, and asking for help it wasn't always just for me. You know, I had 3 children. I was asking for help for them. And again, I always am grateful for those who have helped me in the past. So I don't know. It's hard. We have to be willing to open ourselves up for, you know, the worst thing someone can tell you is no. And that's one thing my mom always said to me. Ask the questions because the worst something's ever going to say to you is no.
Well, you really have to, and I think this is something Gwen had trouble with in the movie itself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have self-worth. You have to have a feeling that you're worth helping.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't feel you're worth helping, you're not going to ask for it.
No.
That's something I've dealt with a lot of my life,
Mm-hmm.
is not feeling worth asking for the help.
Mm-hmm.
Because every denial of help is another sentence placed upon you.
Yeah.
So for some of us, it's abandonment. You feel abandoned by the people that you don't ask for help, and you feel abandoned by the people you do ask for help from, and if they deny it. So you just stop asking, because it's a lot easier just not to feel anything.
I see that. I guess for me, it was just certain people you knew better than to ask. Just you learn. You not saying I knew better, but you learn. I never asked family. When I did ask family for help, they would tell me no. So I learned quickly. Don't rely.
Sure, but you were using what you could read from other people,
Mm-hmm.
whereas I could not read other people.
Oh yeah, no, that makes sense.
And so, since I don't have the ability to understand a lot of humans, it's better just not to ask.
Yeah. And unfortunately, sometimes when I did have to ask family, it was like kind of always held over your head. So you learn again not to ask
Yeah.
family.
So we have generational trauma.
Mm-hmm.
We have the toxicity of relationships, of substance abuse in those relationships.
Both
Over and-
familial and yeah.
Yeah, but over and over again in the movie, we have Jasper who keeps leading her back.
Yep.
He just never lets up. He is, in fact, many ways, her addiction itself.
Mm-hmm. An embodiment, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I said, he was going to drag her down.
Well, yeah, because that's kind of that's his moment in the movie, is dragging her back down.
So at the end, when they go to get, when she sees him and they go get drinks, and she's not drinking.
Yeah.
And then they see friends of theirs, and they're like, oh, we thought you were dead. You should come and hang out with us. Da, da, da. And he's like, yeah, we should go back there. Da, da. And she doesn't want to. And he's like, yeah, we'll just go get, a club soda or whatever. She knows in her heart, if I go back there, I will drink. If I go back there, I'm going to be swept up in the moment, and I'm not. And she knows she's worked so hard to get where she is right now.
I don't think it's just that. I think that it was the fact that in the middle of her trying to have a real conversation with him, he stops her, ignores what she's saying, and calls to his friends and diverts all attention away from what she's saying. He's already drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's purposely picked these friends at the bar he took her to in order to party while she is trying to have a real conversation.
And I think, and see, I get so annoyed by like outside things in movies that aren't shown in the movie, but I draw like the conclusions.
Sure, you draw the parallels. Yeah.
So like, okay, they're together. He was in her apartment in the beginning of the movie, so you have to assume he has a key. Just assume he has a key, because he just proposed to her and everything else. Okay, so he could not, in those 28 goddamn days, go to her apartment and throw away the bottles, clean her, that would be something I would do. I would go and I would be like, again, because I'm not the one he's an addict who's in denial. But if I was with somebody and they were struggling in any way, shape, or form, I would go over and I would like again, if it was if it was one of our kids, I mean, something like that, I would want to clean it up. I would want to take away the things that are the problem.
Yeah, but I think that he wasn't in love with her.
No.
He was in love with his partner in crime.
Yeah, because they weren't going to have that life, that picket fence. And
yeah, he still wanted to just keep partying.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want that to change, and it wasn't really about her. It was just about his needs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was never going to be the one to throw the bottles away.
No. And that's another sign of the addiction, is that myopic, self-centered, way. And it's, again, not trying to sound hateful, because I'm really not. I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming you experienced that with your family, with your mom. I know I felt it with my dad. And of course I felt it with my ex. But you're not the main part of their life.
Oh, no.
And especially with a parent, you should be. But it's the drug or the alcohol that is the main part, because they're thinking about the next drink. They're thinking about the next hit. They're thinking about what's going to happen next. I don't know about you, but I'm always thinking about the next meal. I don't know how people don't think about food.
I mean, I think about food at times. I don't think about it all the time.
Oh no, I can promise you, at any point, at any time of the day, if you ask me what I'm thinking about, I could probably tell you it's about food of some form.
Well, like if I buy a steak, I think about that steak until I eat that steak. But I don't think about it all the time.
I'm planning. So I'm like, okay, so I'm going to have this tomorrow for breakfast. And I might not have it, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to do this for breakfast. And when I get up in the morning, I may not want it, but it's okay. Because now I'm thinking about what I'm going to have for lunch. And I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch, but I'm thinking I'm going to have that little snack before lunch. And if I'm at work, well, I can't eat. But what can I eat when the kids are eating? And then what can I eat when they're in a nap? Well, maybe if I eat all of my lunch at lunchtime, we eat lunch at 10:30. Nobody wants to eat that early. I'm going to be so hungry by the time I get home. And these are the thoughts that I'm having.
No, I get
because
that.
I don't want to overeat.
Yeah.
But I have to think about food so I don't come home and eat everything I see, because that's the other side of it.
Sure. So the thing in this movie is it's going to seem really fun at first.
Mhm.
Like the way it opens. It just
I don't think
seems
I've ever seen her play a character like that.
right. No, I mean I don't think so.
And it puts you off. She's such a great actress. She really is.
But it's chaos.
Mm-hmm.
It's acting like it's a fun movie, but it's just chaos at the start. And then you see it revealed through the work that she's doing on herself. You see it revealed for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
The scenes become more discordant. They become more, I don't know, sharper, more pointed.
Mm-hmm.
And those moments are the moments that make me actually physically feel ill to watch.
When her hands shake.
Yeah.
And she's trying to make the paper chain with the gum wrappers. I would be making paper stars, because that's my thing. But she would be doing, she was making this long paper chain with all of the gum wrappers, because that was all she could buy. And the commissary was candy, because they weren't going to give her cigarettes. And obviously she's not going to get anything else fun that she wanted. And when she starts to go through her withdrawal, and she's really, this is before she breaks her foot, she is trembling. And Sandra Bullock was drinking like triple espressos right before those scenes, pounding them so that her hands would shake like that, because you can't fake that tremble. That was a genuine.
Yeah. Your
hands, maybe we could fake a tremble, but it's not gonna, you can tell.
Right.
And she had them shaky hands, and her trying to manipulate the paper wrappers into those little tiny folds with the shaky hands, and rocking and sitting there on the bed. I've been there, but not because of addiction. What happens when I'm hurting or I'm really, really sick? What do? I rock.
That's true.
I do. I will rock back and forth. If I'm in pain, I rock. If I'm really hurting, I rock. And when
you were doing that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. And I could see that in her. And like when she's doing that, I knew she was in pain. Again, I've never gone through withdrawal like that, but I knew I understood that pain of her, the rocking and trying to keep herself busy by folding the paper.
Yeah.
It just, there's a lot.
So the ensemble cast seems like they're all different things. They all have these different addictions. They all have their different personalities. But the thing that I think of is that they're not there to be Gwen's safety net.
No.
They're there as mirrors to Gwen. So even the different aspects, the doctor, he's angry and he is mad at her for being there after breaking the rules. That's a mirror that she knows she breaks the rules and she gets away with it.
Yep.
But she's never been confronted with it because her sister never actually confronts her. She gets mad at her, but doesn't confront her.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have Andrea who is that sweet, shy person, but when she's talking to Gwen, she gets very sharp with her because that's part of the wit that is mirrored back at Gwen.
Also, I feel like she's also her innocence.
She is.
Because she's only 17.
But she's not stupid.
No, she's not stupid.
She likes childish things, or she likes soap operas.
Because she's 17.
Right. But she's not stupid. And to think that she is to think less of yourself. And that is kind of what that's reflecting. Viggo Mortensen's role, I forget his name.
Boone. His last name is Boone. Oh, Eddie Boone. Eddie Boone.
Ed Boone. He is a mirror to her as well, but he is not there to be her love interest. He is there just to reflect things to her. He has a soft nature. But she gets to see his struggle. His struggles that he keeps failing at and trying desperately to hold on to, while other people around him have expectations of him just getting through the rehab. That's something she gets to internalize.
I also feel like he's the mirror of what her relationship could be. Because
maybe I don't think of them as a romantic couple.
Not in a romantic way, but that there are, because Jasper does not respect her.
Right.
And Eddie does. Because, like, he gets upset when she gets pissed at him about not wanting to talk about her past. And he, you know, she kind of cuts him out. And then she realizes what she did and she tries to make it up to him. And their relationship as a friendship is like, you see them together and you're like, oh, that's definitely going to be like the love story of the movie. But it's not. It's not at all.
I was worried about that when I first saw the movie. I was worried that it was going to turn into a love story.
No.
And like the worst thing you can do is develop a relationship while in rehab. And I think it's true to form because they say it in the movie. Get a fucking plant. You don't have time for other people when you're trying to work on yourself.
So one thing I always respected from people who are going through recovery is they always refer to themselves as recovering addicts.
Yeah.
No matter how many years they go through, because it is a daily struggle. And it could be decades. You will always see yourself as a recovering addict. And I have to respect that.
Well, you're never cured.
No, because
you only ever keep fighting.
Yeah.
And that is respectable because, I mean, you're veterans. You know, you fight.
You're still here.
Every day and you make it one step at a time. And even if you fall, you get back up and you still keep fighting. And I don't know what else you could ask of anybody.
No, and I always say, you know, life is not easy. No one ever said it was going to be easy. And those of us who keep fighting are the ones, you know, again, respect. So when you see somebody who has an addiction or any type of a health problem and it's a struggle every single day, you are here and you are still fighting. So keep going, keep on keeping on.
I think that the comedy that's in this movie, and I've said it before in other movies, but it really is there to counterpoint the depth
Yes.
of the subject. It's there as a silent lift you up before you get punched again. So when they reenact the soap opera for Andrea, it's very funny.
Oh, it is, but it's also
the thing that lifts you up. You think your brain is thinking comedy, and then you see her on the bathroom floor,
mm-hmm.
and you just get a gut punch.
Yeah, because you're thinking, oh, well, this is what got her. She knows she can do it now. She's going to go on and she's going to have a life. And oh, shit. And there are some moments, though, that are genuinely like chuckle out loud.
Oh, yeah.
Gerard.
Definitely.
So you were saying like a reflection of Gwen, and I think he's her heart. Gwen is Gerard is
all those unspoken emotions.
He's so soft. He is verbally very emotional.
Sure.
And I think that's where she represses that. He's that reflection of that. But when they go to the zip line,
park, when they're doing the
climbing, like these trust thingies and stuff, and he's up there on the harness, and he's like, "My package is huge."
He's like, "Look at my package."
And then my favorite line, I think, is Betty, the nurse, who she signs people in and brings them to their rooms and stuff. She does these announcements all throughout the movie, just telling the people which workshops and whatever, group therapies, our cat's in here, that, people can go to. And the one of them, she goes, "Are you a blackout drunk or you just don't remember?"
Exactly.
I died. I was like,
there's some parts to this that remind, and it's kind of funny that it does. It kind of reminds me of MASH in their humor.
Oh, God, yeah.
But I want to point out that Ludden Wainwright, the singer, also acted,
mm-hmm.
and he was in MASH.
Mm-hmm.
He was the singing surgeon in MASH.
In the movie?
In the TV show.
Oh, in the Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So, something to think about. That's who that was.
That's awesome.
I think he is awesome. I really respect that man.
That is pretty fucking cool.
So the climax of the film is a very quiet climax. It is Gwen walking out of the bar, and Jasper follows her, and he's talking to her. He's trying to convince her. And in a very real way, I feel that Jasper is in that moment her addiction.
Mm-hmm.
He represents or reflects that addiction. And in a profound act of self-love and finally understanding, there's a horse.
Mm-hmm.
It's a service horse.
Yes. So in rehab, they go to animal therapy groups, and the gentleman who's leading it, he shows them how to lift the horse's foot. And if you don't know, if you've never worked with horses, if you don't do it right, you're not going to lift a horse's hoof.
Yeah, because they're like 1,000 pounds.
They are. And they will shift all that weight to that one hoof just because you're not going to lift it. And I have spent many years learning, not many years, but like I worked with horses and when I was younger, and you have to finagle it. And he shows them exactly what to do and how to pinch the tendon a little bit, and the horse will do the rest of the work because then they'll lift their foot. And everyone tries to do it. And
because you're not lifting it.
No,
you're just
convincing.
You're just showing your intention, and they lift it for you.
Yeah, because you're not hurting them. You're just kind of. It's a lot to hurt a horse.
Well, you're not going to force a horse to do anything it doesn't want to do.
These are big beasts, and like when I said pinch the tendon. Human beings with their bare hands cannot hurt a horse. I mean, not in that.
Conan could.
Human beings It takes
Sorry, that was a
people,
camel. It's fine.
yes. Well, people can hurt animals, yes. But what I'm saying is like, when I say pinch,
Yeah.
it takes a lot. You're just kind of like letting them know, I'm going to pick up your foot now. And they know this.
Well, she's been unable to.
Yeah, nobody.
This whole time.
But I think Eddie did. No, Eddie didn't.
No, I think he did.
He might have, yeah. Well, because it's Viggo Mortensen and he loves horses.
But she couldn't. Well, he bought his horse in
Yes,
the one movie he did. I love it. No, in the he might have done Lord of the Rings, but in the one where he races horses,
Sahara,
something like that. But he bought his horse.
Oh,
he didn't want to part with her.
Yeah, but I think he did the same thing with Lord of the Rings too.
Yeah, he's adorable. So she is standing out there, and Jasper's staring at her because she walks away from him, goes to the horse, and she's running her hand along its withers.
Yes.
And she guides her hand down, and she tries to pull the leg up. And he's like, what are you doing? This is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, I'm just trying to, and she can't lift it. And she stands up and she says, I just need some help.
And the horse.
And the horse looks back at her. And she goes, okay, I'm going to try this again.
Mm-hmm.
And she's able to lift it this time. And it reaffirms to her, not that she should be asking for help. Not that necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
But that one try isn't always going to do it.
Yep.
That it's going to take a lot of tries, and you're going to fail sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes
you'll succeed.
When you need it the most, you'll be able to do it.
Mm-hmm. And he goes, are we okay now? And she goes, no, but I'm getting there. And then...
Not we.
No, I'm. And then she goes over and gives him a kiss and then says goodbye and walks away.
And that's where she meets up with Gerhardt,
mm-hmm.
who is
crying.
Alan at his most adorable. And Alan's adorable anyway. But his character takes me right out of knowing that he's Alan.
Oh, no.
Because I love his character. I want to adopt his character. I want to take care of that poor boy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure he has a good life. So if Alan ever falls out of work, he just has to pretend to be that guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I will adopt him and we will have him in our house.
Didn't we just do a movie where I mentioned that he said that his character in that movie was Gerhardt?
Yes.
I forget what movie it was. What?
Well, it wasn't. I don't know. It was just recently.
Yeah. Wasn't Lake Placid.
No.
Sorry, looking at my notes because I know.
You're going to look at your notes.
I'm going to look at my notes
air.
because
it wasn't Dark Harbor.
It wasn't Dark Harbor.
Doc
Harbor. Wasn't Mighty Wind.
Well, maybe you'll think of it later.
Yeah, maybe I will.
And then we can mention it on the next podcast.
Okay, yeah, because I can't remember it. Because I know we mentioned it. It might have actually just been an aside that I happen to know that he was in.
Well, we've only done one other movie that he's been in.
No, I think it was a movie that one of the other actors was in with him, and then I happened to notice that.
Oh, and that may very well have been the last movie that we did.
Yeah.
So I don't know for sure.
God, I hope not, because that last movie was ass. And now to the Stitch Count, where we were going to find out if this movie actually stitches its characters into something warm and communal, or if the whole quilt comes apart if you pull on it.
Yeah, so let's look at the Castellini test.
Wah, wah, wah.
There have to be at least 2 named women characters with at least 5 lines of dialogue each.
Oh, we have Gwen, we have Lily, we have Andrea. Oh, God, why can't
Andrea?
I have not said her name the same way twice.
I know you really haven't.
Andrea.
Last time it was Steve.
So, yes.
So
heck, even Betty's got more lines.
That's true. So we do have that. Those characters must have a conversation, not necessarily with the other woman, either not about their partner or with their partner, future or current, and not about their relationship.
So, yes and no. I mean, they do. So, I mean, like, Gwen and Jasper do talk about their relationship, but mostly it's about her recovery.
Yeah, but she's not always talking to Jasper.
No. And again, she talks with other people about her relationship, but she also talks with other people about other things. So it's
It's
not.
actually rarely about her
Yeah,
relationship.
I just don't. I wanted to. It does happen. It's just not the focus of every conversation.
Yeah, so this is true, though.
Mm-hmm.
At least one of the women has to be integral to the plot, meaning that if she were written out of the film, it could not reach the same
Well,
ending.
if Sandra Bullock was not playing Gwen and Gwen did not exist,
It
we
would just
wouldn't
be
have a
Jasper
movie.
standing in an alleyway with a horse.
And that's a whole other movie, and it is frowned upon in polite society.
So it passes the Castellini.
Passes
so
the
it gets a point.
Castellini. Woohoo! Gets a Castellini point.
So let's look at inclusivity and gaze. These all get a score of 1 each,
Mm-hmm.
1 or nothing, and you get a max of 4 points. Racial diversity with agency, not just background. While I believe they could have dealt with some racial diversity, they did have a little
They
racial
did have
diversity.
a little. Can we get half points?
We have a black woman
Mm-hmm.
who is she has a primary.
Oh yeah, no, she's a primary role.
Yeah, she has a primary role. We have a Latino man.
That is true.
Who has a primary role as part of the main group.
Mm-hmm. We have a German.
I don't think the Germans are a racial diversity.
No, but I was just being facetious.
But in the context of the fact that this is a rehab facility,
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually surprised they had even that much, because typically people who are not white get shunted into prisons.
Yes.
Rather than rehab. So good on you for having 2.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll say that gets a point.
Okay.
You agree?
Yeah, I'm going with it.
LGBTQ presence that isn't a punchline or a tragedy.
I'm going to say yes, because even when they use the F word towards Gerhardt, they were like, don't use that word around me.
Okay, we'll give it that, because the presence is there. His sexual orientation is not a punchline or a tragedy. It is his addiction, which is both the punchline and the tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he is the levity in a lot of scenes, but he's also a lot of the emotions in a lot of scenes.
Absolutely.
So I want to give it a point for that, because also Alan Tudyk.
There you go. Age, body type, or disability treated with dignity.
I'm going to say yes, because in their group, there's that you have a mother and you have a young girl and you have, the Sandra Bullock, and nobody is judging them based on their looks or their ability. Now, while there are the people who, like Oliver, who wants to hook up with everybody,
Sure.
It's not about how they look, though. He just wants to hook up.
This is about, again, their addiction.
Mm-hmm.
This is about them getting themselves right. So they're not really judging anyone by their age or their body type or their disability. Are there a lot of people with disabilities in there? No, there are not.
No.
And maybe there should have been.
Daniel is older.
And he's got this scar.
And he's got the scar. And he's the one who makes more out of his trach scar than anybody else, because Sandra
he feels very self-conscious about it.
And Gwen notices it, but I don't think she was staring at it.
But no one was making fun of him for having it.
No.
It's spoken of very matter-of-factly, and they move on.
Yeah. He's, like I said, he's the one who has more of an issue with it being there, because he's the one who's calling people out when they're not really staring at it.
Sure. So let's give that a point, I guess. All right. Camera gaze, not relentlessly sexualized or punitive. Now, while it does aim at a bare butt once in a while in a elevator, I don't think any of this is over-sexualizing anyone.
No. In the beginning, when her and Jasper are hooking up in her apartment, that's a sexualized moment, but it's not a sexualized moment for the camera. It is showing how irresponsible they are because they set a fire.
Well, and also they're showing these clips through prisms and
so
filters and everything else, so you're jarred by it.
And you're disoriented, yeah.
Right.
So and the angles are off. Yeah, so that's not
Yeah,
intentional
this is
to
not
be. It's not
Porky's.
titillating. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's give that a point. So we
Okay.
got 4 points out of that. So it's
Mm-hmm.
5 so far.
Yep. It's
So
5.
far, so good.
Okay.
Now let's look at the Tremors Index.
Hmm.
Now there are 4 levels of the Tremors Index, and you can go from 0, which is the worst, which is below Tremors, fails the basics, up to 4, which exceeds Tremors, rare, powerful, and intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see it? And I'll tell you where I see it.
I see it at Tremors level. That the women, so competence is distributed across gender, age, class, and personality. I believe so. They're all in rehab, so there's no hierarchy. There's no I'm better than you. Well, Gwen holds that in the beginning, but it's mostly because she doesn't want to be there. It's not
Right.
about being better. It's just I don't want to be here. Women make critical decisions without comment or apology. There's a strong female cast in this movie. The narrative assumes equality and then moves on. And survival requires cooperation, not dominance. So it does. Everybody has to, they're not working together to overcome something, but they're working together in a way to overcome their individual addictions. They're working in their group therapy together. They're learning their chants together. They're going on these survival,
It's by
trips.
design, but it's also their interpersonal
Mm-hmm.
thing. So when the doctor returns
Mm-hmm.
for the second time, Gwen touches his arm and he doesn't lash out.
Yeah.
He treats her as a friend,
Yeah.
which is not something he usually does.
No.
Because they have mutual respect. They've learned and they know that they have failings. So they're learning. They're doing these things for each other, but they're also doing them for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with this. I think this is a Tremors level or the gold standard. So I'd say, yeah, it's a 3.
Okay.
So what's our Stitch count?
It is 8 out of 9.
Wow, that is amazing. I mean, I knew it would do pretty well. Honestly, I didn't know how it would do in the Castellini test. Because when you're measuring for feminism, you don't often think of rehab.
No, you don't.
It can get very gritty. And I think in a lot of ways, this film is not about grit.
Mm-hmm.
What this film, I think, is about is more of how to see past that grit
Mm-hmm.
and see the heart of things.
And I think when you have Susanna Grant, who has written, again, Ever After, female forward, very feminist movie. Erin Brockovich,
Right.
female forward, very
Well,
feminist movie.
To be fair, Erin
Erin
Brockovich
Brockovich is very forward female feminist, you know.
right, and she's a real person.
She's a real person, yes. So you have those aspects already in place of this person who's that's her theme, that is her flavor of how she
Right.
writes. So you're gonna get a very, I think, majority equality based movie.
I think so too. I think that's true.
It's very equitable, I think. So if you would like to watch 28 Days, not 28 Days Later, because I'm not kidding you, it will come up.
You will be very confused.
Oh my God. Where's Sandra
Where's
Bullock?
the rehab center?
You can catch it on YouTube, Google Play, Apple TV, Fandango at home, and Amazon Prime. The usual suspects.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for spending time with us, joining us for 28 days from 2000, Y2K of it all. This has been Cozy Quilt Cinema with Beth and Michelle. We loved having you in our little blanket fort for this one. Keep that conversation going. You can find us on Instagram and Blue Sky at Cozy Quilt Cinema or email us at cozyquiltcinema@gmail.com. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts. If you're listening to us now, it's there. If you're enjoying the show, please subscribe or leave a rating. It's a huge help. Means a lot to us. You can find us on the YouTube and everywhere else. So
I think the cat
You
tripped.
can find us in Zales. Right next to the cheaper bracelets that they let above the counter.
Well,
The ones they tell you are okay to steal.
so you can also, if you're interested in the supernatural, the paranormal, and all that fun stuff in between, check out our other podcast, Folkloric Pod or Folkloric Podcast, and come over there and poke at us a little bit there too. So for our next movie, mwahaha, here are your hints. This movie contained over 1,500 horses. That's it. No.
That was all your...
Yes, no. So the male, this one gets a little weird, so listen closely. The male lead said, before even having the script in his hand, the female lead had told him that he had to do this film with her because of who was directing it. And my third clue is the female lead in this movie also saved the male lead from a deadly scorpion biting him because it had gotten into his sleeping bag and she noticed it and she picked it up with her hat and brought it over to the woods and let it go. And somebody was like, well, why didn't you just stomp on it? And she said, no, I would never kill an animal. And I thought that speaks highly of that person.
I'd actually forgotten what the movie was.
You always forget what the movie is.
I know, because we choose it last minute.
Yeah.
But I'd forgotten. But that completely reminded me.
The scorpion?
Yes. And I'll tell you why as soon as we get off of this.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. This is one of my favorite movies. It is a longer movie. There are two versions of it.
You're giving more
No,
hints
I
away.
know. But that's it. That's all I'm going to say. But it is one of my favorites.
If somebody wins the Corvette, it's on you.
So, until next time, my friends. This makes my package look huge.
It really does.
I know.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
Once we all leave, we have needs that are going to need to be filled by people physically at times. How and when can we do that? Not how, just when.
I know. Lots of people in recovery want to know when's a good time to start dating. And my rule of thumb is when you get home, get yourself a plant. Okay? I like those spider plants, but whatever turns you on. Then in about a year, get a pet. And then if in, say, 2 years, the plant and the pet are still alive, then you can start to think about having a relationship.
Thanks.